Welcome back to Two Nerds and a Podcast. Um,
Hello.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Kacie.
On today's episode, we are talking about my hyperfixation obsession for the last 8 years. I think I've been watching Supernatural. We're talking about Supernatural. I made Kacie watch it because she made me watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah, if you missed our last episode, we did a little fandom swap. So check out the last episode. I made her watch Attack on Titan because I'm an anime nerd. And this episode, we're talking about Supernatural because that's her thing.
Why don't you start, Kacie? Thoughts? First of all, did you like it?
Yeah, I actually really liked it. So
Nice.
my first initial thought while watching the first episode was I can't believe this is something Jamie watches because, like, when the mob, like, caught on fire and was, like, hanging from the ceiling, I
Yeah.
was like, "Jamie doesn't like this stuff. What the heck?" I was like, "This is spooky."
It is the first 5 seasons of Supernatural are the spookiest seasons out of all the
Mhm.
seasons. Funny is I have a friend so all of my friends at work who are no longer at the place I work at, we all bonded over Supernatural, and we had one friend who had never seen it, and I told her, I go, you gotta watch it. And I told her, first season, spooky. And she literally had the same thing where she was watching it, and she goes, I can't believe Jamie would watch that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know how to explain it except that two cute guys come in and I'm in. That's all you have to do to get me into anything scary is throw a hot guy in there and I'm in.
You're like, down." Like, Last of Us, perfect.
Exactly.
But my second thought while watching it was I really like Dean. I think he's so
Yes!
far hilarious. I
Like
like
when
that
he
he
like
just
sneaks in and
yeah.
Sam just like throws him to the ground and he's just like, "Hi, Sammy." And I'm like, "Oh god, I'm in love already."
Yeah, I think Dean is hilarious. I like how just like quick and witty he is
Mhm.
and just like sarcastic.
Yep.
Um, but like throughout the whole episode I was like cracking up cuz he was just all like when he was when they were like in I think it was like a library and they were or somewhere they were looking up about
Mm.
the ghost
Yeah.
and he like Sam like pushes him off the computer and he's like god control freak.
I love Dean Winchester. He's so snarky all of
Yeah,
the time.
yes.
Like it just doesn't turn off. And some of the things that come out of his mouth, I'm just like, I would have never thought to say that. But now it's
Yeah,
just
like
part
when
of
he
my vocabulary now.
like when he calls when they're in the car and he's like looking at the cassettes and he's like the driver gets the music and
Oh
the
yeah.
passenger shuts his cake hole.
Yep.
I was like, "What?" That's a great response though. I definitely
It's true.
I'm gonna be using that from
So
now
true.
on. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. It was like a good mix of like spooky and like funny and like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, especially in the beginning when it's like, oh, okay, she's just on fire. Okay,
Yep.
all right,
Yep. Mom
yeah,
on the
okay,
ceiling. Yeah, cool.
yeah. And then like the ending of the episode when his girlfriend's just on fire, I was like, "Oh, are we all just gonna be on fire here? Like, what is happening
Yeah.
here?"
Oh, Jess. I was devastated that she died in the first episode cuz like her and Sam together are so cute. So cute. And then yeah, she burns on the ceiling. And I'm like, "Oh, oh no. No,
Yeah, I
no."
was like, "Whoa, okay, we're just gonna do this, alright."
Yep,
Um,
yep.
yeah, it's kinda like Attack on Titan, we're like, "Oh, we're just doing this, okay."
Yep, we're getting right in. There is no
We're getting
gentle
right
like lead in. There's no build up. It's bam, mom is dead. Bam, girlfriend is dead.
yeah, I'm like, "Okay, alright, well, now I'm intrigued." I mean, I do like when shows are like, "Hey, here you go," and you're just like, oh, "Okay,
It's
alright, we're
like,
just jumping
oh,
right into
okay.
it."
Yeah, because
Perfect.
sometimes when they're really slow in the beginning, I'm just like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, it kind of like
And
is
then people
hard
are
to like
like,
get
"Oh
into
no,
it.
keep watching." And I'm like, "But I don't want to."
Yeah. Yeah, no, this one definitely I feel like it definitely had like a good mix of things to where I'm like,
Mhm.
well, yeah, I definitely want to keep now I have to keep watching it. Like even if I didn't want to watch it, like I feel like I have to because like now his girlfriend's just dead and on fire. Like I need to know.
Yep, yep. Yeah, and then like the first time like Dean pops in, he's like, "Dad's on a hunting trip and he hasn't been home in 3 days," and you're like, "Well, now I gotta see him come home," because like you
Yeah,
can't
now I
just
need to
like say
know.
stuff like that and then just leave it at that. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, now I'm like I have to know like where's his dad? What is going on? Like we had the
Mhm.
like notebook that he left behind. Like I need to
Yeah.
know. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Even if I procrastinate a little bit, but it's fine. We're used to that, Jamie, okay?
Yes, we are. I was not the least bit surprised when you texted and said that you hadn't watched it yet.
I was
I
like,
was
I knew
like,
I was forgetting to do something this weekend, but I was like, I can't remember what it is. Oh well. And then I was like,
well,
oh, that's what
yeah.
we were doing. Duh.
You made it. You made it
I
through.
did.
So,
I did. It all worked out. That's like
yeah.
the Disneyland situation. Like I procrastinated, but it all worked out.
That was too much procrastination.
Yeah. That was a lot. I don't know if
Okay.
yeah, I don't think we talked about it.
No, so for anybody who doesn't know, there's a vlog on it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jamie Throws Confetti. But Kacie and we went to Disneyland. Was it in January the first time?
I think it was January or February, one of those.
February? One of those. And then because my dad bought me a pass for my birthday, which I was like, ooh. And so my theme park buddy is typically Kacie. We go to theme parks anytime she's
Hmm.
out in California. And so we were like, because I have a pass and I have to go during the week, and that works out for Kacie because it's class and work and all that jazz. And so I texted her. I think it was in March, and I was like, "Hey, when's your spring break?" Because I thought, oh, maybe she'd come out over spring break, and then we wouldn't have to worry about getting back for school and all that jazz.
Hmm.
And you were working over your spring break, right? Or something
Yes.
was in the way. And so her birthday is the end of April. And so we're like, well, maybe we'll do something around there. And I was like, cool. And we set a date, and I made my reservation, and I had the thought that maybe I should just buy Casey's ticket while I'm here on the Disneyland app, and then we can call it a day. But I went, nah, because I figured like your dad would buy it for your birthday or something, which he did, right? He
Yeah.
ended up buying, yeah.
Yeah.
And then and then I had a thought because I had texted you that we were starting a California adventure. Um,
Yes.
and you were like, yeah, cool. And then I had the thought to ask you, I wonder if she bought her ticket yet. I should have asked you. Did you buy your ticket yet? Because then I would have yelled at you to buy it now. It turns out she did not buy her ticket. And
No.
I get a text at I think it was like
It
7.
was
I
like
was
the
at
day that
work.
I was coming
It,
out there to see
yeah,
you.
that she was supposed to be driving to my house. So it was like 7:30 in the morning because I was at work already, and I looked and I just saw the crying emojis. I didn't even read the words next to them, and I went, "Oh no, oh no!" And then I opened
No.
it, and you were like, "There's no tickets available. All the reservations are taken up." And I went, "You're fucking kidding me." And so I stop everything I'm doing at work. I hop on the Disneyland app, and sure enough, there's like no reservations. And I'm like, I should have known. I mean, I've known you for
I
more
was
than
gonna say
half
we've
my
known each other
life.
for how long?
Yeah, and I should have known. And so we checked the website all day, hoping, praying, for a reservation. We decided that if we couldn't get it, we could go to Universal and it would be fine because Super Mario World is open.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'm pretty sure it was like 6:30 at night. One reservation opened up for Disneyland, not California Adventure, so I bought it immediately. I texted her. I go, I got it. But we're gonna have to see if we can go to the park to change it to a park hopper because I don't know why it wouldn't let me buy a park hopper.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because then I had to change my reservation because I had it for California Adventure first and then Disneyland, and so I had to call because it wouldn't let me. I didn't want to do it online and then not be able to get in at all. And so I called, and the lady I talked to, super nice. She was like, "Yeah, there's reservations available for both parks still." And I went, "What?" Because on my end it said there was no reservations. Tell your cat hello
I
and
know.
that
I'm
I
so sorry
hear
if you
her.
hear her. She's very
That she
loud
is
and needy.
welcome on the podcast at any time. But yeah, so we did make it to Disneyland. So yes, luckily it was not that kind of situation today.
No,
Not
we
as
definitely
important.
we
There was
did-
no driving involved or any other planning besides I needed to sit down and watch this TV show.
yeah, but again, we are well aware that I procrastinate until the last possible second. But it all worked out. Everything works out, you know.
Yes. And this is why we're friends because I do everything as early as humanly possible. Like the moment I can buy tickets for something, I am 100% in. I am committed. I am buying them right now. So we balance each other out because I'm always extremely early and you are late or procrastinate, and it's fine
Mhm. Yeah,
because we
it's
balance.
like the yin and yang. It's fine.
It's exactly what we are, is yin and yang.
Yeah. So I mean I know there's only like the two like main characters I've met,
Mhm. Mhm.
but since
Because
we did this
everybody
with
else is
Attack on
dead.
yeah, since everybody else is dead and the dad is missing.
Yeah.
Um but since we did this with Attack on Titan, who is your favorite character?
Dean Winchester.
Okay. So I've
Like
met him.
straight. Okay. Yes, you have met him. He does a lot of dumb things. Supernatural is 15 seasons.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stupid in between that Dean does. And sometimes I want to strangle him, but I love him very much. But before I get to naming other characters, I want to tell you when I first started watching Supernatural, I watched it because of Sam, because had seen Jared Padalecki in it was some kind of Christmas movie. I don't even remember what it's called, but I saw him in that, and then I looked at his IMBD as one does, and watched everything else he was in. And the only thing I hadn't touched was Supernatural because I knew it was a lot of seasons. And
Mhm.
I pretty much had watched it just from Tumblr because there's so many GIFs and memes and everything supernatural that I felt like I had already watched it. But I'm like, that's a time commitment that I am willing to do, but I should not do. Um, and so I was like, you know what? I'm on a Jared Padalecki kick. I'll watch it. And then the second Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester appears, I'm like, nope, that man. I love him. And I will watch all 15
Yeah.
seasons for him. So like right out of the gate, Dean Winchester. Dean Winchester is one of those. He's like, there's very few fictional characters that I will like stand by for everything, and Dean Winchester is one of those.
Like
Dean
he can do
Winchester,
nothing wrong,
he can do a lot wrong, and I understand that, but I will stand by him.
but I will
That's my
stand
man,
by
and
him.
I will stand by him. It's just how it's gonna be, because he's done a lot of dumb, and people will go, well, what about when he did this? I go, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Made a
matter.
deal with the king of hell. It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
yeah, it's fine.
It'll
It's
be fine.
fine. It's fine.
Supernatural has a lot of really good characters that I absolutely adore. Um, and it's funny because particularly the women of Supernatural are some of my favorite female characters in existence.
Mhm.
Um, you will Mary Winchester. You've seen her on the ceiling in
Yeah.
flames. Um, we do get to learn about their past, and they're a supernatural. There is like dead, and there's Winchester dead. And
Okay.
so, Winchester dead typically means that you will come back to life at least twice
Okay.
in some magical form or another. So
So we'll see her again.
we will see her again, and we really get to know her. And it's the same actress, which I love. We do see anytime you see like a flashback scene, they do use a different actress for that. But when we get to know her as a character, and she stays, I think, for a couple of seasons, if I remember correctly. It's still the same actress, Sam Smith, I think is her last name, and she's amazing. I love her as Mary Winchester. Um, and it's so funny because you'll see as the seasons go on that Sam is very much like their dad, and Dean is very much like their mom, and it's so cute. Um, it's so cute. I love Dean and Mary's relationship, both before she dies and when she comes back, because again, they're very similar, and I love that. And Dean just loves his mom so much, and it's so cute. Um, but yeah, the women of Supernatural. So I love Mary Winchester. There is a character called Donna that we meet. I want to say it's in the later seasons. I thought it was like 8 or 9. Um, but she is just like she starts out as just like your kind of run of the mill cop. She's I think she's supposed to be from Minnesota. So she's got a very thick Minnesota accent, which is
Minnesota.
Minnesota, which is so cute. She's so adorable, and I love her. When we first meet her, she's got a trash husband. I think she's still married at that point. He becomes an ex-husband eventually, but he's very much trash. And Dean, for her, is so supportive and for her in that whole episode, and I'm like, Dean, you're so cute, but also Donna becomes so bad at. We only see her, I think, maybe like a total of like 6 episodes, but like she goes from being this sweet, cute little cop that wants to like help the world to this badass like vampire slayer, and I'm just like, yes, Donna, get it,
Yes,
girl.
girl. You go,
Um,
girl.
yeah, and she's just amazing. And she becomes the person who just has like an arsenal of all kinds of really cool weapons. And I'm like, yes, Donna, you're my kind of gal. Um, so she's amazing. We meet a character named Jody Mills. Um, and she is actually the mom from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, it's Kim Rhodes, and she's amazing. She's hilarious. And then both her and Donna end up getting paired up in a lot of episodes, and their banter back and forth is hilarious. I love it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, so many good characters. Um, a lot of the demons are really cool, and all of the angels are assholes.
Okay. All right.
Which is
Cool.
very contradictory, but when you see it, it makes sense. My favorite, uh, he starts out as a demon, is Crowley, um, and we meet him as a crossroads demon, because I can't remember what deal Sam and Dean were trying to make or find out or whatever. They meet a lot of demons. They summon them quite a lot. But he ends up eventually taking over hell and becomes the king of hell. And
Mhm.
he's uh a in comparison to Jared and Jensen, he is a short British man. And he's just like constant sarcasm, and he's the reason that we call Dean Squirrel and Sam Moose. And he's so funny. He's hilarious. And then we meet a witch. Her name is Rowena, and that's actually technically when they were both human, it was Crowley's mom. So you get a lot of their like mother son, I hate you but I love you
Back
banter.
and forth, yeah.
Yeah, and I love it because everybody calls Crowley Crowley, but she calls him by his actual name, which is Fergus. And like every time she's just like, "Oh, Fergus," and he just like you could see like he can't roll his eyes hard enough every time she talks to him like that.
When your parents call you by like your first and middle name, you're like, can we not?
Yeah. And you're like, "Mom, not in front of my friends."
Yeah.
I feel like oh, Bobby. I can't believe I forgot Bobby. Bobby is basically Sam and Dean's dad because John, after Mary dies, goes hunting,
Hmm.
trying to find the thing that killed her, which is the premise for season one. And he just leaves the boys with his friend Bobby. And so Bobby basically raises them. And Bobby is a crotchety old man. And he's hilarious. Like again, the sarcasm in this show is just like top notch. Everybody is sarcastic, and I love it, and I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
I could
Um,
definitely tell that, like, from the first
yeah,
episode, there's a lot of sarcasm, especially from Dean. I was like, she's just on it with that one."
but I think those are some of my favorite characters that I love. There's always characters that you love to hate as well, and
Yeah.
I think for me that's Lucifer. um,
Okay.
because he's Lucifer. He's the devil.
Yeah.
But the actor who plays him is phenomenal. Mark Pellegrino, I think is how you say his last name. Um, but again, sarcastic, but he's really like he keeps you on your toes, Lucifer. You never know what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say, and I think it's season 3 that him and Sam's uh futures are kind of intertwined, and so to see him and Sam banter back and forth is hilarious. Especially because Lucifer is like that like ADHD kid who just like doesn't stop talking and is like bouncing around all of the time, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why don't you play with me? And why don't you pay attention to me? Sam, I want you to pay attention to me. And you're just like, Lucifer, stop. But then like in certain episodes he'll turn around and he'll be really scary, and you're just like, oh my god, yeah, he's the devil, and he's the devil for a reason.
Right,
um
it makes sense.
and you're like, oh yeah, Lucifer, ooh. But yeah, he's one of those baddies that you love to hate. And again, the actor just does a phenomenal job. I love him.
Yeah, no, I definitely look forward to watching more of it because that first episode was good. I was like, "Oh, we're going right into it." Okay.
Yep, going right in. We're starting with the spooky, and it'll stay spooky.
Yeah, and I don't, aside from like the things you've told me,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the show. I have never been engulfed in the supernatural. The only thing I know is from what you've told me,
Yeah.
and from working at Hot Topic and seeing the merch
Mm,
there. And I'm
yeah.
like, I recognize the symbol, and I know
Yeah.
there's stuff to do with pie,
Yep.
and that is all I really know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know the symbol.
Yeah. And the bitch and the jerk,
Yeah.
which that I think comes in. I know it's season 1.
Well, they said it in season.
Did they?
Well, yeah,
In
because
episode
yeah, in
1
the first episode, yeah.
when they're in the car,
Well, and I think when
or
they got to the hotel room, and he's like, um, he was like gonna go shower because he was like covered in mud, and then he
oh
was
yeah.
like, um, Sam was like, look, I'm sorry about was saying whatever about mom and dad, and he's like, don't
Yeah.
make it a rom-com, and then he was like, okay, jerk, and then Dean was like, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a in the later season, I think Dean says to Sam like, no chick flick moments. And
Mhm.
Sam's like, "You love chick flicks." He's like, "Yeah, I do." Dean, he's
Yeah,
so
he definitely looks
funny.
like he'd like chick flicks.
Oh, 100%. I love Dean.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
like him a
What
lot.
else?
That's definitely my favorite
Yeah.
so far.
I'm so glad you gravitated towards him first. I love like asking like my supernatural friends who they prefer. 'Cause like I love both the Winchester boys, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But I think Dean, like I said earlier, is one of those like soulmate fictional characters I have. So
Mhm.
it'll always be Dean for me. Like no matter what the choice is, it'll be Dean. But I have a friend, Emma, who for her it's Sam. But like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
if you look at her and you look at me, you can understand she's very much like Sam. She's quiet, she's a nerd, and
Mhm.
she's stubborn, but she's not very vocal about it. Whereas like at least I like to think that I'm like Dean, where we're very sarcastic about everything, and that we will do what we're told until we decide that that's not right or we don't like that, and then we will change direction.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's why I gravitated towards him. I'm like, he's kind of got the same personality as me, just like a sarcastic asshole.
yeah, he's got like it's like a defensive. He's always on the defense kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, he's the
Mhm.
older sibling, so like the older sibling trauma that most. I mean,
Yeah.
you're an only child, so you wouldn't know, but
Yeah, I don't know.
but but that older sibling trauma, and especially that pressure from parents to rise to the occasion,
Mhm.
um, to set an example for the younger one, and you're just like, okay, and then everything that
I
goes
didn't
with
choose to
that.
be older, okay?
Yeah, you're
You
like,
made
I just
this.
happened to come first, so yeah.
Yeah, I didn't choose this lifestyle.
But you'll be coming up if as you watch this season. Episode 3 is actually one of my favorite episodes of the series.
Okay.
Um, I believe it's called Dead in the Water. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, it is called Dead in the Water, and it's really the first time I got hit with all the feels for
Oh
Supernatural.
no, the feels?
Yeah, the feels. And it's just it boggles my mind that both Jared and Jensen had not known each other for very long when they started filming,
Mhm.
and they very much act like brothers.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I mean they the banter back and forth and the um their like physical comedy too is you get to see that a lot in later seasons. It's just I'm like, yeah, I definitely believe you're brothers.
Right.
Um,
I could believe you're related.
yeah, but yeah, the first season is definitely the scariest season. Um, but the first 5 seasons what had the same director and writer, which was the guy who created it, Eric Kripke.
Mhm.
Um, and it was Supernatural supposed to end after 5 seasons. So when you
Oh wow.
transition from 5 to 6, you'll see a difference. Mainly because he stepped off of the show, but
Mhm.
Warner said no, we're going to keep going because it was very popular. And so, if you talk to Supernatural fans, you'll get the crowd like me who just rewatches all 15 seasons all of the time and has fun the entire time. And then you'll have fans who, quote unquote, are serious fans, and they just say it should have ended at 5 seasons. And that makes me kind of sad because we meet a lot of characters after season 5
Mhm.
that, at least from my friends and my corner of the internet that I'm on, are very essential to us loving Supernatural.
Right. I
Um,
mean, obviously if it went on for 10 more seasons, like
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, and it's just, I mean, you get to all these wild situations, but like the main one I always think about is which you'll meet him. I think it's season 5. You'll meet Castiel and the Angel, um, and I mean, we get to know him a little bit, but not as much as we know him, obviously, with 10 more seasons. But
Mhm.
um, if the show had ended at 5, we would have only gotten one season of Cass, and that's just not enough seasons of Cass,
Right,
especially
you're like, "Need
like
more."
his. Yeah, need more Cass always, but him and the Winchesters, their dynamic is absolutely hilarious because you have Dean who doesn't believe in God, he doesn't believe in angels, he thinks that's all bullshit. And then you have Sam, who is very much the believer. He believes there's
Mhm.
a God out there and that there's a heaven and a hell and all of this jazz. And then so when Cass comes into the picture, he's an angel of God, and
Okay.
like Sam is just so excited, and Dean is like, yeah, whatever. And that kind of carries throughout the rest of that season, and it's just so funny because you just see Sam get slightly more disappointed every time Castiel talks to him, whereas Dean kind of gets like a little bit more excited because he realizes that angels are just a bunch of assholes and that they're just, they're like they're not even better than humans, they're just different.
Yeah.
And Misha Collins, who plays Cass, is just absolutely hilarious of a human being. My favorite tidbit is, again, when you meet Cass, he has this certain voice that's like really low and gruff, and it just sounds like he has like a cold. And Misha does not sound like that. And his normal octave is not anywhere near that. And so he said that originally when they cast him, he was supposed to make like a few guest appearances. So maybe I think it was supposed to be like 5 episodes total. And so he did the voice, and then they turned around and went, actually, can you be on the next season? And he went, oh no, how am I supposed to do this voice for a whole like he went from guest starring to being one of the stars, and he's like, oh no, I
Oh,
have
no.
made a wrong decision. I
That's
regret
hilarious.
everything. Yes. And so he's had to do that voice for 10 more seasons.
But, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching more of it, so we will definitely do a season 1
Recap.
recap. We'll
Yeah.
do that with my show, your show.
And they're actually the same length because I'm pretty sure season 1 of Supernatural is 22 episodes.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Attack on Titan was 25.
Yeah.
I mean, Supernatural episodes aren't longer, to be fair,
That is true. That is true.
yeah, season 1 is definitely, you like scary though, don't you?
I do. I love scary stuff.
Yeah, so you'll like it. You'll probably have the continuous thought of, I can't believe Jamie watched this.
Yeah.
Because I don't do scary, but for me, I don't know why, but supernatural scary is like, it's still scary, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know, I'm like okay with that. And I don't know if that's just because Dean Winchester is there, or if
Right. You're like,
like
it's
like
fine.
yeah, I'm just like, he's gonna come save the day, it'll be fine. But yeah, season 1 is, because I know when they started, it was very much monster of the week. And so it was about discovering a monster, researching, and then defeating the monster. Um, and I do like it because you get into kind of like a lot of things you've heard. Like, I know one of them's about Bloody Mary, and so there are kind of twists on that and stuff like that, and you kind
Mhm.
of learn that anything can be real in this universe, any kind of monster. I know I mentioned vampires and werewolves, angels, demons, the Bloody Mary is a thing, ghosts. So there's a lot of things that go bump in the night that you get to see and explore. And
Yeah,
it's
I'm
the first
excited.
yeah, first few seasons are definitely very monster heavy, and then as you get into later seasons, you kind of dig more into the Winchesters and their story versus them fighting monsters.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so I'm excited for you to continue watching and to slowly fall in love with Dean Winchester. I'm just going to go ahead and say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
'Cause
Can't wait to spend all the monies on this.
Yep. And then next year when I go to the Supernatural convention, you'll be so into Supernatural, you'll come with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be like, ha ha, my plan, it worked.
It worked. I think that we covered pretty much all the first. I'm so sorry. My cat is very needy. Um,
She wants to be on the podcast.
did you need something, ma'am?
Yeah, your
Um,
attention.
yeah. No, I think we covered pretty much everything for the first episode. I think that I'm gonna enjoy watching it, so we'll definitely be hearing more about it.
Yeah, it'll be
For
exciting because
sure.
now we're gonna understand what the other is talking about.
Right. Now it'll all make sense.
Yeah, so now when we throw out names and characters and things, we'll be like, oh yeah, it's
Oh,
that
I know
one.
what that means.
We like to feed each other's addictions. That's what best friends
Mhm.
do. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're just gonna make it worse by getting
Make it
each other
worse, exactly.
getting
Exactly.
each other into our favorite shows.
But that's what friends are
Um,
for.
it is what friends are for. Alrighty, well I think that's where we're gonna end this episode.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I think if I remember correctly on Spotify, I don't think you guys can comment, but you can send in I think like a voice message or anything like that. But I'll also put it on the Instagram. Uh, if you guys have things you want us to talk about, if you want us
Mhm.
to like circle back to some stuff, like we said earlier, we'll circle back to both Supernatural and Attack on Titan when we finish season one. Um, I would say we could do that for like the entirety of the shows, but if we did that, we'd run out of Attack on Titan way before we ran out of Supernatural.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with Supernatural, we'd be here for about 3,000 years. So
Yeah.
we won't do that, but we will circle back for at least season one and possibly season two.
Yeah.
And then I think for Supernatural, maybe we'll circle back when you get to season six to see that
Okay.
kind
Yeah.
of that
Mhm. The
change.
change. Yeah.
Um, but that'll probably just be a segment of something, not a whole dedicated episode. Even though I could talk about Supernatural forever, so
Yeah.
there's always that. But yes, we hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to do all the podcasty things of sharing it everywhere, anywhere, with your mom, your dad, your grandpa,
Your
your
dog.
friends, your dog, your cat. Um, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, which I think will be linked somewhere. It's two nerds and a podcast with some underscores thrown in there. I don't remember how many underscores there are. And you can find both of us on my YouTube channel occasionally at youtube.com/JamieThirstConfetti. And I think I said this in the first episode. I'm hoping to have some pod merch on
Yes.
my Etsy store. It'll most likely be stickers, and maybe a T-shirt if I'm feeling up to it, but stickers for sure. And that'll be linked on my YouTube channel and maybe here if I figure out how to do that. And on Instagram. And yeah, I think that it's all the information that I have to shout out you guys at the end of every episode. Yeah, and I am going to apologize for any sound quality issues. Um,
Yeah.
the first episode, I'm gonna see if I can still fix it. I haven't figured that out yet. I echoed for some reason, and then last episode and this episode, I'm using the microphone off of my headphones. So I don't know if I sound good or not, but it was the easiest option we had, and I wanted to record, so we went with it.
Yeah.
So hopefully audio just hopefully we just get better in general as we
Yeah.
go.
That's the plan.
So
It's still trial and error right now. We're still
yeah,
working through it.
so stick with us. And I'm gonna stop talking now. So we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.